Hey everybody, Who's Your Jedi here, and it's time for another channel update. This time around, I've got a really big announcement that's going to be very important to what's going on here for the foreseeable future. So let's just get right into it. First things first, I know I'm behind on my reviews for quite a few shows. It's been pretty crazy these last 2 weeks or so. I'm working two jobs, 6 days a week. A guest here for a while, um, and yeah, it's just been pretty nuts. So, finding some time to record when I actually have the energy to just basically not fall asleep while I'm recording, it's been rough. But things are going to be changing really soon. I'm going to try and get caught up on all my reviews as quick as I can. Unfortunately, that's going to happen over the Thanksgiving holiday, so not the greatest timing, but you got to do what you got to do. Anyway, so the big announcement. Well, my big announcement is that I am moving to Japan. I got offered a job over there in Japan. I guess it was Thursday. I booked my tickets Sunday night, and I'm going to be hopping on the plane to head over there on December 19th. It's all happened extremely quickly, but it's a really great opportunity, and it was just too good not to be true. I mean, too good to pass up. Those of you who've been watching my channel for quite a while, you probably heard me mention that I used to live in Japan. Well, what's interesting about this offer is that it's basically in the same area as where I lived for about 2 years. During that main 2 years, I was actually in this little town out in the countryside, like 15,000 people. Nice enough place, but pretty boring, and more or less being one of only three non-Japanese people in the entire town. Well, four, I guess actually, was a kind of a rough gig. I'm not somebody who's well suited to life out in the countryside, so I was not exactly a happy camper out there. I spent most of my weekends in the nearby city, which was about a 45-minute bus trip, staying with one of my friends from that town. And it's that nearby city that I'm going to. I'm going to be living down in Kyushu, the southern island of Japan, and yeah, I'm going to be. I don't know the exact address of my apartment, but the place I'm going to be working is downtown, in the heart of everything. A place called Kumamoto City. Uh, Over 700,000 people, so it's a respectably large city. You might have heard about this town this year. Back in April, Kumamoto was hit by a really big earthquake. Um, so, and I was really upset about that because, of course, that was just the area I lived for 2 years. I knew the area well. Kumamoto is famous for a castle that they have there. It's considered one of the best castles in all of Japan. It suffered some pretty serious damage in that earthquake, which is still being repaired. Um, but nonetheless, I happened to see this job opening online the other week, and I'm like, oh my god, this is like right where I used to live. So I kind of had to apply for it, and they got back to me extremely quickly, and in very short order, like less than a week after I applied for the job, it was offered to me. So sometimes the stars align. Um, Now, what all this means for the channel? Well, I'm going to be leaving just before Christmas. Of course, all the shows are going to be on their winter break right around then. And one of the downsides of when you move to another country like this, and this has happened to me both times that I've lived, it's moved to Korea and Japan. It generally takes about 2 weeks to basically get your identification that lets you set up a bank account, lets you get internet in your home, get a cell phone, and all that. So those 2 weeks really suck. But once that's over with, you get that magic little card where you can get connected to the world and get everything you need to be a part of modern society again. your life gets immensely better. It depends on a lot of exactly how long it takes the Japanese government to process some paperwork. If everything kind of goes the way I'm hoping it will be, I'd probably be able to get back there, I suppose, in the latter half of January. Again, probably when the shows are going to be coming back. Well, nonetheless, I'm going to try. I will start doing the reviews again once the shows come back and once I get everything up and running on my end there in Japan. Of course, there's a noticeable time difference between Japan and North America, where the majority of my viewers are. About 14 hours from Eastern Standard Time, if you're not familiar between that and Japan. So, adjust your figures accordingly. But I'm going to keep doing my reviews and going to think about maybe just occasionally doing videos talking about what it's like to be in Japan. Because, that's something that's always fun to talk about and people seem to find interesting. We'll see how that goes. And yeah, that's the big thing. Like I said, this is something that's happened extremely fast. It's pretty crazy, but I'm really excited about this. As for why I decided to do this, there's a lot of reasons, both personal and financial, and just all in all, it kind of seemed like the right idea to go back overseas for a while. And I don't know how long I'm going to be over there. As I said, I expect I'm going to be over there for at least a couple of years, the foreseeable future, as best I can tell. And where things go from there, too soon to say. I guess it just depends on how things go in Japan this time around. But nonetheless, things here on the channel are going to slow down briefly while I get adjusted over there, but we will pick things back up. In the meantime, guys, thanks for sticking with me and thanks for your patience. As always, please comment and let me know your opinions on things. And until next time, take care and have a good one.